Guys, what's going on? It's Jerry Miller. It's the I Love CVille Show. It's Friday. It's good to be with you. A little rain in the forecast, but we're going to bring a little positivity and a little sunshine to you on this Friday afternoon. Play some jazz here with three talented musicians from the Charlottesville music scene on the I Love CVille Show. Very excited to introduce you to them. Very excited to put a little spring in your step as you head into the weekend. I know it's going to be a fabulous weekend for you, and it always is a fabulous weekend if you have that positive mindset, which is what we try to embody here at I Love CVille, featuring the best of Charlottesville, Virginia. I'm Jerry Miller. This is Friday, and on Friday we play live music. We welcome talented musicians from across Central Virginia to the show, and we ask them to do what they love and what they do well, and that's play live music. That's going to happen in a matter of moments. Before we get to the band, I want to give some props and some love to some of the fine folks that keep this show going. First, a 4-generation strong business. It's Intrastate Pest and Service Companies. This business started in 1969 with the first generation, Mr. Wells. He had one truck and himself. He would go to a home, he would service the home from a pest control standpoint, and then he would head to a phone booth where he would call his next customer and say, may I come and service your house now? Today it's 4 generations strong with an office in the Shenandoah Valley, a market, an office in Richmond, and the headquarters right around the corner from Bodo's Bagels on Harris. This company, Intrastate Pest and Service Companies, has a Commonwealth-wide footprint, and our business, VMV Brands, is their proud advertising agency of record. We are watching firsthand as Intrastate Pest and Service Companies are leaving Charlottesville and Central Virginia in a better place. I also want to give some love to the good doctor. His name is Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. Whether it's physical therapy, whether it's sports medicine, whether it's chiropractic care, he is changing people's lives one patient at a time. Dr. Wagner, we are proud to be your advertising agency of record as well. Who's got your back? Scott Wagner's got your back. I have the easy job. All I have to do is talk on this microphone and be myself. Harris Tolber, Judah Wickhauer, and Lauren Linsky have the difficult jobs. They keep us on air. They keep the audio levels right. They keep the cameras pointing in the right direction. They keep me on track, which is really difficult to do because I'm high energy and I like to go in a lot of places. Harris Tolber, you are calling the shots, sir. I think on that note, let's go to the studio cam and let's welcome Leslie, Bob, and Monica to the set. First, I want to thank you guys kindly for joining us on the show. So thank you. You're looking very sharp.
Our pleasure.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you. You know what? I had Wilson Ritchie on the show yesterday, and when I was promoting the fact that you were going to be on, he literally stopped what he was saying, and he said, I love Leslie Gourdet. So your reputation certainly speaks for itself. I'm going to get out of the way, and I'm going to ask this question, and I'll throw the same one to you guys. Give us the passions, the hobbies, the interests, what you love about Charlottesville. Who is Leslie Gourdet the man? Give us the flip book of your life or your birth story, if you may, Leslie.
Oh,
the show is yours.
I'm
Just talk into that mic and let us know.
Wow. To me, Charlottesville is like a little heaven. The minute that I stepped into Charlottesville, I felt an energy here that I know that's where I would want to be for the rest of my life. And as I dig into the cultural scene and the educational, the little activities all over the town, it's been a very pleasant journey being here in such a good place.
I love it. I love it. And Bob, I've seen you play, and this is the first time we've officially met. I've seen you play so many places. I actually met you for the first time at a restaurant that is now no longer in operation. I believe it was called Carlton's.
Carlton's, yes, indeed. Yeah.
Over where the Tin Whistle is right
Correct.
now. And you were, I believe, the in-house piano player, the regular musician.
Often, very often.
And I was like, this guy is such a talented musician. You have a way about you. You're cool, you're calm, you're collected. You really have a way of setting the mood and the energy with your talent on the keyboard. I'm going to ask you the same question.
Thank you.
Yes, it's true. Same question for you. Passions, hobbies, interests, what you love about Charlottesville. Who is Bob the person?
Well, you know, when I came here, it was a long time ago, probably about 30 years ago, really. And many people say to me, have you seen an evolution in the music scene here? And the answer is no. It was always good. Of course, there are changes, various personnel. But I can tell you, we used to say years ago, on the downtown mall, there was music by the fountain there, live, of an evening, of a Friday, of a Saturday. There was later on maybe Sips. There were also jazz musicians performing outdoors. There was also, of course, Miller's, and I even, believe it or not, played piano at Sal's Pizza.
Sal's Cafe Italia.
Yes, indeed. Wow. And the Nook. That's how we used to say, you throw a quarter on the mall, you're going to hit a good jazz musician. Mm-hmm. And I thought, this is the place for me. This is wonderful.
That's amazing. And it's certainly your home. It certainly has embraced you and your talents.
Indeed.
It's embraced Monica's talents as well. Monica, same question. Charlottesville, what you love about it, your passions, your hobbies, your interests, who you are as a person.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that's a boring story, probably. But to talk to the former questions, I was fortunate enough to be a customer, a patient at the hospital here for 3 or 4 years. Okay. And I would come out after various things that had happened and go to clubs and sit and listen to the musicians in town, like Bob and Leslie and others. And I would just think, gosh, when I feel better, I'm just going to get down there and start singing, because I come out of Washington, D.C., where I worked with a lot of military musicians from the Navy and Air Force and Marine Corps bands. And such good musicians in a place like Charlottesville was just a total surprise and a beautiful blessing. So I'd come down and listen. And then one day I had occasion to do a gig, and I knelt down beside the piano with Bob and said, hey, can you come and play this job up in Sperryville?
Love it.
And there we were.
There's a bit of a story there.
Please.
I saw this lovely lady on the other side of the bar while I was playing the piano. And she came over and she said, would you like a gig in Sperryville? I never had heard Monica. I said, well, she said, she named a price. And I said, yeah, okay, that's really good. I'm doing it.
That helps, doesn't it?
So it was kind of a cold, it was early spring, kind of, as I recall, and kind of chilly. And my friend drove me up there, an Englishman that I know here in town, David. We went there, and there was a guy playing a kind of an electronic clarinet, and it supposedly imitated other instruments, such as saxophone. I thought, what kind of thing is this? Yeah. What have I gotten myself into? Then out came the drummer, and the drummer was rather a heavy-set guy with a military hat on, you know, ex-Army fellow, and I thought, well, okay, I get it. This is a kind of a small-town thing. Well, I had never heard this lovely lady sing. She starts singing. The drummer starts playing. He was an Army drummer. He was out of this world. Not to get too technical, but you know, drummers usually doing beats and stuff. So with one hand he did the beat, and with the other hand he played the melody of the tune on the other drums.
Wow.
I thought, this is out of this world. Then she opens her mouth, and I thought, this is heaven.
Doesn't get any better than that.
And that drummer is Bruce
really
Baldwin.
Great.
Bruce Baldwin is the drummer. Ray Cadell says, more Friday music. I can't wait to hear you guys play. We have Tim and Crozet that's saying, I'm a huge Leslie Gourdet fan. We have Grace watching in Richmond that says, I love jazz. And Bob, I've seen you play a number of times at Fellini's. So we have a lot of fans watching right now. If you guys could like and share the stream, that would mean the world to us. Who are some, before we get to, and they're going to play 4 songs for us today, so this is truly a treat. I'm going to ask you guys the same question. We'll start with Leslie. Who are some of your musical influences? Some of the people that have helped influence you to this point and what you do?
Well, I have the pleasure of sitting with them right now.
All right.
So, yeah, because I was not into music when I used to hear Bob playing at Fellini's, and I always wanted to play jazz. That's why I took an early retirement from my career to learn how to play. And Bob was one of my dreams. Well, when I get to play better, I want to play with Bob. And so that dream came in reality. And as Bob mentioned with Monica, I heard Monica sing one time, and I said, wow, another dream. I would love to sing with that lady. And now we're together playing as a team.
I love it. I love it. Ray says, I've known Bob for many years. He's played with everybody in town. He has great ears and a great feel for music. And that's coming from one talented musician to another one.
Thank you, Brother Ray.
Yes, yes, and he's been with the Cool Cats on this show.
That's
I'm
right.
going to throw this to you. Your musical influences. Some of the people that you look up to that help mold you.
Yeah, unquestionably Bill Evans, most of all. Me and 400,000 other pianists. Bill Evans was he was my hero when I was 20, and he's my hero when I'm 70. In terms of having brought the African-American musical experience to make it viable in America, of course, Duke Ellington, in terms of composition, in terms of adventuresomeness of mind, and what he did. It's Duke Ellington. So it was kind of like Duke Ellington and Bill Evans.
I love
me,
it. I love it. Same question for you, Monica.
Sarah Vaughan, undoubtedly, but also a whole lot of instrumentalists. Bill Evans was the connection between Bob and I think, because I loved a lot of his tunes and loved to sing them. And also used to be able to sit at Blues Alley and watch the shows night after night, because my boyfriend helped run the shows there. And so I just soaked up Dexter Gordon and Dizzy Gillespie and all kinds of musicians week after week, night after night. And some of that hopefully comes out in the singing.
Well, we're excited to hear you. We're about to play the first one. Harris and Judah, I think we're ready for the first song. So Judah, if you can join us over here and run some support. Harris, whatever you need as well. We are going to hear one of 4 songs today on the I Love CVille show. We're very grateful for this band for being with us. Judah, you're going to call the shots over there from a directing standpoint. There you see Harris Tolber, our fantastic director, getting things ready for us. I'm excited to hear the bass. Is that what we got there?
Yes, that's what we got.
We got a bass. Is this the second time, Harris, I believe we've had the bass on the show? I love the sound of the bass. How long have you been playing the bass?
Well, actually, I've been playing when I was in college. That's
Okay.
when I picked up the bass.
He said he started picking it up in
I
college.
studied classical for 3 years, and the bass found its way to a closet in my house.
I love it.
For over 35 years.
30. That's a 35-year-old bass?
It's much more than that. It's almost 100 years old.
Oh, almost a
But I've
100-year-old
owned it
bass.
For about 40 years, maybe.
That's amazing. Did you just hear that, guys? Almost a 100-year-old bass, and he's owned it for 40 years. That is amazing.
Thank you.
I'm going to get out of the way. Bob, you guys ready to rock and roll? You guys ready to rock and roll, Harris and Judah? All right, the show is yours.
It's not the pale moon that excites me, thrills and delights me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. It isn't your sweet conversation that brings this sensation. It's just the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me, all my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me. If you'll only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in the night the nearness of you. when you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me. All my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me. If you only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in the night the nearness of you.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. You have such a presence, Monica. You have such a presence, absolutely a presence. We'll get the fellas, Judah, why don't you go to Studio Cam, and then we can get the mics back to where they need to be. I cannot wait to hear the influence of that song. I was really impressed with your presence and your energy. Why don't I throw it with you first, Monica? Give us the inspiration, the background. What do we hear? Tell us the motivation behind the song.
I can only speak for my motivation behind this song. I'd love to know the writers, but in relationships, there's so much written about all the big, glorious stuff. And in my experience, it's those very quiet moments that are the real decision makers. And feeling like the nearness of you is the ultimate, is something, thank God, I'm familiar with. And you can sing that song from the heart.
And you did. And it was awesome. Jump in here, Bob.
Well, one time Bill Evans called up Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett was on the road, and Bill Evans was sort of towards the end of his life, and he said, well, Tony, when you do music, you only think of truth and beauty, nothing but. And I feel that tune is an example of truth and beauty. In the lyrics of the song, in the gentle way it moves from one thing to another, that is truth and beauty.
Yeah? Talk to us about truth and beauty to you. What is truth and beauty in your eyes? And if beauty is in the eye of the beholder, what is truth and beauty in your eyes?
Well, that's a big one. Truth is what you know intuitively to be coming from the higher level, if you will, coming from the true spirit of things.
I love it. I love it.
And, well, beauty's the same thing, really. Keats's thing, that is all you need to know in life. Truth is beauty. Beauty equals truth, said John Keats.
Bob, getting deep right here on the show. I love it. Talk to us about what you were feeling in that song.
What am I feeling in that song? Well, I can second what Bob and Monica have said.
And get close to that mic so we can hear you.
With me, there's the thing about jazz. When I first landed in the United States of America, and I first heard that music, that resonates in all my elements, in all my being, that since then I had a passion for that music. I wanted to play, but I'd never played any instruments in my upbringing, and I didn't have any kind of financial means to get involved into music, not until I got into college. And I just love all kind of music with respect to jazz, even classical, but jazz, there's something special about it that transpires me into a different sphere.
What's special about jazz to you? What is it?
It's just the spirit that these guys project into their musicianship. The expression that in each tune has a certain beauty in it, a certain truth in it that is second to none. I mean, to me, when I hear jazz, I'm at my best. I feel good and I have energy and I'm happy. So this is the reason why I gave up my career to learn how to play that music.
I love it. Monica, same question for you. Jazz to you is what?
Well, there's a concept that underneath everything that we are is a sort of a wave that some people call a feeling tone. And you ride that wave throughout your life more successfully sometimes than others. You get a bit distracted from it, do things that maybe aren't so important. But somehow, jazz music has caused me to find that feeling tone without fail. It appeals, something in a tune will appeal to you on a very deep level, and you can just ride that level, whether you're listening, whether you're playing, whether you're just, you just plant your feet on the floor and pull that music right up out of the earth and bring it out. And I think that feeling tone is unique to each of us. So the thing that jazz allows us to do is each do it our own way, so that we're not locked into playing like somebody else played 100 years ago or 30 years ago or last minute.
That's a great answer right there. Bob, can I throw the same question to you?
Well, I guess to me, what fascinates me so, I'm speaking about jazz in general from 1920s up to the advent of like free-form jazz, you know, where anything goes and structures arise spontaneously. Apart from that, it's all the emotion and feeling which you can access within the parameters, within the delimitation of the structure of the tune. That's what I really like. You can push it so far, but if you push it too far, you know and everybody else knows. It's walking the line between kind of boring within structure stuff and pushing the limits. That's what I love. It's never ceased to fascinate me.
How long have you been playing music?
45.
What got you into music?
Oh, my elder brother turned me on to classical music when I was 12. 13 maybe. Like I walked around listening to Elvis Presley and all that with a little transistor, which I like. I still like Elvis Presley, don't get me wrong.
King.
But he said, why don't you try Mozart? And I did. And it was Mozart and Beethoven and all that. But I never really played seriously till I was about 19. I just kind of fooled around.
And then what happened?
What happened was I heard Otis Spann, the great Chicago blues player. By that I mean... And I said, we were drinking red wine when I was in college, and my friend, to this day, he says, Bobby, what you said that night was, that's what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. That's your answer.
I love it. Why the piano?
I just gravitated towards it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love it.
Actually, why the piano? Yeah.
You're so talented.
Interesting.
Why the bass?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
When I first started to listen to jazz, it seemed like that's what I was feeling inside.
Okay.
And I questioned why did I really pick that bass, because this is a very challenging instrument.
I was going to say, it's not easy to transport.
And to get
right?
it here, it was a challenge.
Yeah.
But interestingly, when I'm really listening to music, I feel the bass inside. But yeah, the melody, the sax, the trumpet gets me going. And the vocal. That's why right now when I'm playing jazz, I always have somebody singing. And on Wednesday nights, we're at the Whiskey Jar with Wheels on.
Yeah.
You know, and having a good time. And I just feel like the bass, it's like I feel the music resonating inside my body, inside my soul. And I said, this is the instrument I want to play. I didn't know then anything about the bass. I've never seen one close by. I heard about it, but I didn't know anything about the upright until I got a teacher, and he sold me my first bass. And then all he did with me for 3 years was playing classical. And I was with my boy, and then, but sir, I want to play jazz. He said, well, if you want to learn how to play jazz, you got to go to this. And I played classic for 3 years. And I gave it up again for about 35 years and got it out of the closet after I hear Bob play. And I said, I want to play with this guy when I grow up. it happened, and it was a dream come true.
I love it.
Leslie's pretty mean on electric bass, too. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah, electric bass is really my element.
Yeah?
But the upright is a little bit different. And
Why is the electric bass your element?
Because you can play with it. You know, just hold it. It's like a little baby. I have a good one. This is very light.
Yeah.
And then I can go all over the fretboard and let it out. It's different because the kind of music I play on the electric bass versus the kind of music I play on jazz, it's like two opposites.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm excited to hear a second one. People are asking for a second song. You guys crushed the first one. I'm going to get out of the way and let these talented humans do what they do best. You see the fabulous Harris Tolber walking in now, helping us run the show. Harris Tolber keeps us looking and sounding good. What is the name of the second song we're going to hear, Monica?
It's All the Things You Are.
All the Things You Are. It's All the Things You Are is what it's called.
That's what it's called.
Okay, that's fantastic. So this can go in a lot of ways. It's up to how we interpret it ourselves.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. The show is yours, guys. Bob.
You are the promised kiss of springtime that makes the lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You are the angel glow that lights the stars. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine. Promised kiss of springtime that makes this lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You are the angel glow that lights the stars. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine. All the things you are mine.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Oh, that was so good. You guys have such good, chemistry. I mean, I'm going to throw this to you here. Judah, you can put it on studio cam, and then we'll get the mics in a good spot. Why don't I throw this to you, Monica? How long have you guys been playing? Put in perspective the chemistry you have, how often you practice, how often you play in front of an audience. I mean, just show us yours.
Oh, wow. Well, a lot of times with something like jazz, every time you play is practice. Someone said arrangements while you wait, I think, one time. But we rehearse every so often when we want to learn a bunch of new tunes, because it's good to get familiar before we hit the deck. But a lot of it is on the job. We get together and pull a few tunes out and say, we haven't done this one in a while, or let's do that, or now we've played that too often, let's find something new. And then kind of like we did this morning, just talk about them a little bit and see what we have good arrangements on, see what we can make bigger and better in terms of something that isn't just presented the same way every single time, so that people have a little something new to listen to.
I love it. I love it. This show airing across 7 channels on the I Love CVille network. Let's thank some of the folks that are watching. Ben Hernandez, thank you for tuning in. Ben, we would love to have you here with your fantastic band. Greg Bartletsky, Jay Wyant, Troy Robinson, Bellamy Brown, Terry, Steve, thank you kindly for watching. We have folks watching in Richmond, D.C., Pennsylvania, Charlotte, and Long Island right now. Let me throw this to you, Bob. Yeah. The concept of music, playing together as a team. When you guys are clicking, I saw you look over to Leslie and Leslie looked back over to you. And we see this a lot in soccer. When we see the ball moving beautifully around the pitch, I mean, it's elegant. You know, we can see that the team is in unison. And a lot of times when the team is really coached well, like your teams were, the players knew where the player was going to be before the ball got there. And it was magic. It was chemistry. Yeah. I see that with you guys. Put that in perspective for us.
Well, see, on that tune there, I just felt that it was exactly the right time for Leslie to take a solo. After all, in jazz, you know, we've all heard like bands of 5, 6 or more where everybody goes on and solos so long. And oftentimes Leslie, like any good bass player, will say, don't just keep giving me lots and lots of solos. All good bass players say that. Anyway, but I just felt, now he's going to nail this, and it was the perfect time. She had gone through the form of the song. I did my little thing, or big thing, and then I said, that's right on. So it's like that soccer ball, I guess. It was going right in his direction, and it had to go.
Talk to us about the chemistry, Leslie.
Well, the chemistry, jazz is a language, you know, so is music in general. And me, myself, when I'm playing, I'm communicating with each and every musician on the set. And this is the beauty of playing together. You know, sometimes we may not have much time to practice together, but when we are together as a team playing, we're communicating a lot. So what Bob is doing on the piano is helping me to do what I'm doing on the bass, and what Monica is singing is leading me to where I want to be on the instrument. So
I love it.
Chemistry.
I love it. Troy Robinson says hello. He said we were in CIC, the CIC program together.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he's watching. He wanted to make sure that you knew he was watching and he's supporting you. You sound great. Guys, like and share the feed, no matter what channel you're watching on the I Love CVille network. Give it a like or give it a share. That would mean the world to us. We have 2 more songs that we're going to hear. And guys, I know my role. My role is to be quiet and allow you guys to do your thing.
And you enjoy the music.
So I'm going to enjoy the music, enjoy my coffee, and get out of the way here. Harris Tolber is making us sound good. Judah Wickhauer is working the board. Lauren Linsky upstairs as well. Guys, the show is yours. And set the stage for us, Monica, what we can expect here.
So a lot of people think of the classics of jazz as something, the tunes that were written a long time ago. And this one was written, for some people this would be a long time ago, but for most of us this doesn't feel that long ago. Came out in the early 60s as a movie theme, as a matter of fact. And it was really influential to me when I was a young woman and young person. And it's thrilling to be able to sing it here these 40-some years later. It's called Alfie.
Alfie, I love it.
What's it all about, Alfie? Is it just for the moment we live? What's it all about when you sort it out, Alfie? Are we meant to take more than we give? Or are we meant to be kind? And if only fools are kind, Alfie, then I guess it is wise to be cruel. And if life belongs only to the strong, Alfie, what will you lend on an old golden rule? As sure as I believe. just exist, Alfie, until you find the love you've missed. You're nothing, Alfie. When you walk, let your heart lead the way, and you'll find love any day. Something even non-believers can believe in. I believe in love, Alfie. Without true love, we just exist, Alfie, until you find the love you've missed. You're nothing, Alfie. When you walk, let your heart lead the way, and you'll find love any day, Alfie, Alfie, Alfie,
Oh, that was beautiful. It was so nice. That's my favorite one so far. Alfie's on point right there. That is so good. Oh my gosh. I'm going to start with you, Monica, here. Talk to us about what we just heard right there.
You know what we just heard was what I was taught as a kid. You believe in love. It's okay to be kind. There's a golden rule. It's simple. It's not complicated. It gets complicated in life, but can be brought down to that. All those things were part of my growing up. And when I hear a song in a movie that says all those things so beautifully and delivers them on a musical magic carpet that just takes each word.
It's a journey.
Yeah. And takes each word and just matches it to the note. You know, you're not putting, as my teacher used to say, the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Everything works in unison. And it also delivers not a love song in the romantic sort, but a love song in the human sort. And I guess that's my wish for Charlottesville.
I love that. That was poignant. That was very well said. That's my wish for Charlottesville as well. I think that's all our wish. Well said.
You nailed it, man.
You did nail it right there. You took my breath away right there with that line right there. Well said. Bob, jump in here. Talk to us about Alfie.
Alfie is by Burt Bacharach, who wrote the music, and Hal David, who wrote the lyrics. Yes. And after all, it begins with the main question of all time.
What's it all about?
What's it all about?
Right?
Yeah.
And it's a very beautiful piece. And Well, you know, most tunes have rhymes, rhyme schemes. Almost any tune, 90% are rhymed. And about 6, 7 years ago, Hal David was interviewed on NPR on Terry Gross, and she said, well, you know, how did you arrive at the fact that at the bridge of the tune, that means the middle section, there are no rhymes? This is 40 years after it was composed. Hal David says, Terry, until you mentioned it, I never noticed it, that it had no rhyme. It is so perfect. As Monica said, the union of words and music. It's a minor masterpiece or a major masterpiece from the world of popular song.
Yeah. What else you like about that song?
That it's hard as hell to play a solo on the bridge. That's why we stop. Actually, I've heard a number of recordings, and of course, my master Bill Evans. You play the first part, and then when it's time to come in, you come in with the straight melody. You can't play on it. It's too off the charts harmonically to really make a good solo that I've ever heard. I've heard about 4 versions, and everybody just backs away, as did I.
I love it. I love it. Leslie, your thoughts on Alfie?
As I said before, man, I'm the new kid on the block, so there's a lot of things about the music and some of the tunes I have no idea. But I didn't know Alfie before I started playing with Monica, and she sang it, and Bob, and I was just like, this is one of my favorite tunes.
It was amazing.
And as they were really telling the feelings of that the tune brings to the table, there's one other tune that came to my mind, which is Lush Life. I think I'm kind of associating the two for some reason. By, what was his name again? Who wrote the Lush Life?
Billy Strayhorn.
Billy Strayhorn, which was, partners with Duke Ellington to write a lot of tunes.
He's from around here, actually.
And he was from around here?
He went to Woodbury Forest.
Interesting.
Really?
Yeah. You see that? Yeah.
Interesting.
So, and I made that connection with that tune, and I loved it instantly. It's just like one of my favorite tunes, actually. So yeah.
That one, in all, you've played 3 so far. We have 4 total, so we have 1 more to go. Alfie was my favorite.
Yes, so we second that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not just me that says it. It's one of the greatest tunes of all time.
Seriously.
Amen.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And that was a pop tune at the time.
Really?
I mean, that would have been on the radio. I mean, it was with the movie, but it was considered pretty much popular music.
So when you guys are playing, Alfie always gets rolled out?
I love doing it. Anytime I can get him to do it, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
I love it. So when we Wednesdays, is it a standing night Wednesdays at the Whiskey Jar?
We are going to be on the first Wednesday for this group.
Okay.
So I have another group coming up this Wednesday with another great singer from UVA.
I love it.
And she's from my country actually. She's Asian. Yeah. I mean, her parents are. She was born here, but she's a very promising singer and a different band.
What's her name, Leslie?
Yeah. Her name is Nadine Michel. Actually, she's a doctor. I believe that, and she's doing a PhD in neuroscience.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Renaissance woman.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Like you.
She was come out Wednesday. Come out Wednesday. We'll figure it out.
I'm a big fan of this guy right here. If you can't already tell. All right, so they want to hear the last tune.
Okay, let's do it.
We'll get out of the way here. We got one more on Friday, guys. It's a little gloomy outside, and we're giving you a ray of sunshine here on the I Love CVille Show. Thanks to 3 talented musicians that you can hear across Charlottesville. This is honestly one of my favorite parts of my job, and working 80 hours a week, is to be able to connect with you guys on this platform and spotlight the best of Charlottesville, Virginia, which is what we try to do. Monica, you set the stage.
Well, this is a tune we like to do sort of at the end of the evening a lot of times because it's bouncy, it leaves you feeling good, and it's a really simple message. Do I love you? Oh my, do I? Honey, deed I do. Do I need you? Oh my, do I? Honey, deed I do. I'm glad that I'm the one who found you. That's why I'll always stay around you. Do I want you? Oh my, do I? Honey, deed I do.
I'm glad that I'm the one who found you. That's why I'll always stay around you. Do I want you? Oh, my, do I? Honey, dear, I do. Honey, dear, I do.
That was good. Oh, that was so good. You guys are having so much fun. I feel like that's such a big part of it. It's like when you see the musicians having fun like you guys are having, it just like, it brings you into the show even more. And then like you want to have that fun and take it with you like when you leave the show. And I can see why, I'm going to throw it to you, Monica. I can see why you close a lot of shows with it because it's so upbeat and peppy. It just makes you happy of your life.
Yeah, you don't have to really think about that one so much.
It was
you
great.
Know? You know, I don't mean musically, it has some challenges, but just, do I love you? Of course.
Love it. I love it. Talk to us about the song.
Well, I just have the same feeling. It's up, it's happy, and I feel like it needs a vocalist, though. Like, I play at Fellini. I've been playing at Fellini's every Friday night for 16 years.
I was going to say, yeah.
And I really don't do it. I only really do it with Monica and another singer in town, a wonderful singer, Susanna Rosen.
Paul Rosen's wife.
Yes.
I play racquetball with Paul.
Yeah,
Paul's the man.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, we're going to have their band on the show here coming up. Harris,
cool.
we're working on the date for that show still? Yeah, we're going to have them here.
Good.
She's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she does it in a different key, albeit. However, I feel it should have a vocalist, not just be an instrumental thing. So I always wait for the, opportunity to do it with Monica or Susanna.
I love it. I love it. Cool. Leslie, talk to us.
Well, that stone just grooves. You know what I'm saying? It just keep you jumping.
Yes.
And yeah, it's I don't know. It's like most jazz tunes to me. They have their own beauty and their own what you call it. I don't know. I can't find the proper word. But
their own soul.
But with this tune, it's just happy. It's a happy tune.
It was good, and I feel happier now after hearing you. I'm going to put you guys on the spot, and you guys can easily say no.
Okay.
May I persuade you at all for an encore?
You don't have to persuade us.
Okay, so we can do an encore. Do we have an encore?
Well, we could do that.
We can do an encore.
What you want to do, John?
I mean,
oh my God!
This is. I love this.
Thank you,
guys
man.
are so good.
Oh, it was a pleasure to be here. I'm telling you.
You made the day better. Harris loves music. Look at this guy smiling ear to ear. The fans are responding well. 7 channels across the I Love CVille network, guys. We're airing this. Like and share the feed where you're watching. We work hard to put this program on for you guys Monday through Friday. All we ask in return is a like and share. On Fridays, we play live music where we spotlight musicians. Mean to me.
Sorry, we're cutting across you there.
No problem.
Sure
My home is your home.
Got it.
Judah, ready to rock and roll, baby?
That's a good call.
Set the stage for us, Monica.
Jerry, they want to be mean.
Well, this is one of those ones that a lot of people know the story behind this one, in the sense that we put up with certain things for love occasionally, and this is a pretty good expression of some of the things that go that way.
Okay.
B flat.
B flat, yeah.
Sure.
Kind of swing style.
Yeah.
You're mean to me. Why must you be mean to me? Gee, honey, it seems to me you love to see me crying. I don't know why I stay home each night when you say you'll phone. You don't, and I'm left alone, singing the blues and crying. You treat me coldly each day of the year. You always scold me whenever somebody is near to hear. It must be great fun to be mean to me. You shouldn't, for can't you see what you mean to me? You always scold me whenever somebody is near. Dear, it must be great fun to be mean to me. You shouldn't, for can't you see what you mean to me? You shouldn't, for can't you see what you mean to me?
That was so good. Me to me was good too. People are asking for another one. Is that rude? Okay, last one. All right, last one, guys. Literally get people asking for another one. We got Steve Robinson in Richmond says, get one more out of him, Jerry. Get one more out of him. Let's do.
About the music, man. The music makes
It's
people
contagious.
happy.
Yeah.
No, that's the music.
They're magnetized to the music.
That's what it is.
Magnetized to the music.
What it is.
Thank you, Troy Robinson, for sharing. Thank you for Terry and Ray Cadell for sharing. John Craig, thank you for sharing. Jehu Martin's got a message for you, Bob. Jehu Martin says, Bob, one of the best in the business.
Jehu, my man.
Jehu is the man, a big ambassador for music locally. Thank you for watching, Jehu Martin. Guys, if you can like and share the stream on whatever channel you're watching, 7 channels we are airing this live show across the I Love CVille network. My old flame. Ooh, my old flame. I got a couple of those myself.
I was going to say, there's no truth to those
I
rumors.
got a couple of those myself.
The second line is,
What's the... Uh-oh, I'm not sure.
I can't even think of her name.
Oh, that's not true. That's not true. Bob's got jokes.
Ooh, can I tell you my singer joke? Real
Yes, please do.
Knock, knock.
Doc, who's there?
Singer.
Singer who?
Was I supposed to come in there?
You are some special Monica.
That was for
good.
those musicians out there.
This is my favorite part of the job. I love this.
My old flame, I can't even think of his name, but it's funny now and then how my thoughts go flashing back again to my old flame. My old flame, my new lovers all seem so tame, for I haven't met a gent so magnificent or elegant as my old flame. I've met so many who had fascinating ways, a fascinating gaze in their eyes, some who took me up to the skies, but their attempts at love were only imitations of my old flame. I can't even think of his name, but I'll never be the same until I discover what became of my old flame. So many who had fascinating ways, a fascinating gaze in their eyes, some who took me up to the skies, but their attempts at love were only imitations of my old flame. I can't even think of his name, but I'll never be the same until I discover what became of my old
So good. So good. So good. You're getting props, guys, from Washington, D.C. right now. You're getting props from right outside Chicago right now. I mean, you did such a good job right there. Oh, my gosh. Bob, talk to me about that song. We're going to get that mic over there to you. My Old Flame.
It's a very good tune, and it's from our harmonic pianist or guitarist point of view, it's problematical because you got to figure out a nice set of chords to go under her lovely singing. And
beautiful voice.
And we did. It's a good set of chords. It's interesting, and it's not a cliched set of chords. It's harmonically a little more adventurous.
I love it. I love
it.
What do you talk to us about? What you love about connecting with? I mean, and you're connecting, Monica, with folks online right here. When you connect with someone at a show and you see that you're making a connection through words that you are singing, put that in perspective. I mean, that's amazing.
You know, it is an amazing experience because a lot of times when you're playing, people are doing a million other things. So when you look around that room and you catch somebody actually, whoa, you know.
Does it take your breath away? I mean, what happens?
It kind of does for a second.
Yeah?
And then you have to quickly put the ego back down again and continue with what the tune's about and begin to try to, I guess it causes you to want to give a little bit more. And yet at the same time, you should always be giving it all you got. So it's a wonderful thing to see that somebody's actually in the groove with you at that moment, and just kind of let it be.
I love it. I love it. Leslie, I want to close the show with you. And you said you have something you wanted to plug. And I also want to hear where the folks can listen to you guys at one of the fantastic restaurants or venues locally. So make sure you plug your spots there. Leslie, show is yours. Anywhere you want to go. Make sure you talk into that mic for us.
Okay. Well, just with that tune itself, I played that tune with Bob a lot. When we used to play at Fellini's almost every Friday night. But when you do it with a singer, you play in a different key, so it's like a little wake-up call because you're playing in a different key, but the feeling is still there. You know, it doesn't change. So what I wanted to plug in is like yesterday I was one of the finalists at the Tom Tom crowdfunded Beach Night.
That's awesome.
And for some reason or another, we tied, I and someone else tied for the crowd award. Whoa. So my elixir now is kind of being really accepted in the community. People voted for it.
Talk to us about the elixir.
Well, the elixir is a concoction that I created somehow to protect myself from, being ill, to keep myself strong and healthy. And what I did, I realized that all these natural ingredients and herbs is good for your health. So as a vegetarian, I used to juice a lot. So I figured, how about if I juice this mega antioxidant stuff and put it into a juice? So I took turmeric and garlic and ginger and onion, lime and lemon, habanero peppers, black pepper, apple cider vinegar, white wine vinegar, and honey. All these natural ingredients are cold pressed into that juice.
Wow.
No heat involved in the process, and then you take a shot.
You take a shot?
Oh, yeah. One shot at a time makes one feel sublime.
I'm good at shots.
Oh, yeah.
One shot at a time. That's this is an advertising.
That's right.
That is called a tagline.
Oh, is that what it is? I don't even have any idea. Is that branding? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, give it a shot, man.
Yeah, I love taking shots.
That's right.
I would happily take your elixir shot. I enjoy you for a number of reasons. We have a lot in common. I enjoy your zest for life. I enjoy your need to challenge yourself on a number of different levels.
Thank you.
I appreciate your Renaissance quality. You wanted to play music, so you taught yourself music.
Yes.
Fantastic soccer coach because you love the game.
I love the game.
Yeah, you love being around players and competition.
Yes.
Yeah, you just love life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I feel like we all. I mean, if we're above ground, what's not to love?
One life to live.
There you go.
That's how I
It's
feel.
one love.
I feel like you crushed it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you, baby. Thank you,
Yeah.
Monica.
But
You're so good.
Yeah.
So good,
But
Bob. So good.
I remember the days of coaching.
Yeah.
And I used to call my games, and you used to be the one that.
My first job out of UVA was as a staff writer at the Daily Progress.
That's right.
And I got to meet great people like you.
Exactly.
Because you don't coach at the high school level for the money.
Oh,
you
no.
coach at the high school level for the love of the game and to be around players and then help them to evolve into better humans.
By the way, I have a soccer camp coming up in
Yeah.
June.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
What kind of camp?
Soccer camp.
Okay.
For children.
Where's it going to be?
It's going to be at the Field School of Charlottesville.
I love it.
It's been going on for this is going to be at 26 years.
26
Wow.
Yeah, I tell you.
Coach Gourdet coming out right now. Bob and Monica, where can we see you and
plug
hear
it
you
in.
guys play? Bob, why don't you go first?
We are sent out by Nursing Home Swing. You know of that group?
I don't. You were plugging it.
Yeah, it's a wonderful group, privately funded, and it puts musicians to work within Charlottesville by sending them into places where people are recuperating or living with nursing care. So we go out and we do a couple hours in the afternoon, and in trios and duos and quartets and that sort of thing. We've got one coming up at the Lodge in Crozet for your Crozet person
That's
over
right.
there.
Love it.
I'm in that one too, right?
Right, it's three of us
That's right,
with
that's
Jim
right.
Howe on the drums.
And other people can come and see it, too.
love it.
Unlike
Yeah.
most people say, can we come to these nursing homes, because we're outsiders? Yeah, come on and listen to the music. Absolutely.
And how about some of the set gigs around town? Fellini's.
We might have something coming up at Fellini's. I don't know when yet.
But on the first Wednesday of
That's
every
it.
month,
Okay.
we are together at the Whiskey Jar.
First Wednesday every
Of
month.
Every
The
month,
Whiskey
Monica
Jar.
will be with me. And
Put it on your calendar, guys.
Oh, yeah. All the- yeah.
I love the
On
Whiskey
what?
Jar. Wilson Ritchie was on the show yesterday.
Oh,
The owner of the Whiskey Jar. He does it right. Treats people right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Has good prices, good vibe, good energy. Love that spot.
Chicken and collards,
I love that
people.
spot. This is
Chicken
like
and
my home.
collards.
I love that
I've been
spot.
playing there for like over 7 years or something. It's
he
just like,
spoke
oh my
very
God.
highly of you.
Yeah, and he's a great man. I love him as well.
Someone tell Wilson Ritchie we're speaking highly of him here on the show. I want to thank Bob and Monica and Leslie for giving us their most precious commodity, which is their time. We had a 72-minute show, and this show in its totality can be archived on ilovecville.com. So if you were jumping in and jumping out, or you had to go off your lunch break and you want to watch the rest of it, visit the website, ilovecville.com. We'll also email the content to Leslie, Bob, and Monica, and they have absolute autonomy and rights to that content. Guys, I close the program the same way every time, and it's kind of piggybacking on what Monica said earlier. If you embody the golden rule and you treat others like you want to be treated yourself, not only will you make the community a better place, but you're going to feel happier about your life anyway. So treat other people like you want to be treated yourself. Charlottesville needs it now more than ever. Central Virginia needs it now more than ever. And when you embody the golden rule and you give more than you take in life, it's going to create this positive, like viral impact that's going to make our community better. And that is the entire mission of this program, is to leave Charlottesville in a better place than when we first arrived here in 2000 as a first year at the University of Virginia. My name is Jerry Miller. Harris Tolber's our director, Judah Wickhauer and Lauren Linsky. We work hard to put this program on 5 days a week, 12:30 to 1:30 on the I Love CVille network. I hope we brought a ray of sunshine to you on a Friday as you head into the weekend. And guys, you're going to have a great weekend. A great weekend. I truly believe that. We will see you Monday at 12:30 on the I Love CVille show.
All right. Thank you for having us, Jerry.
You crushed it. You crushed it.
Very cool.
I appreciate you too.
Go anytime, you know that.
Yes.